What's going on, traders? We're back with another weekly Forex forecast using daily demand and supply zones. So we're just going to be going over this short watch list, and if there's any pair that I haven't covered and you want me to cover it next Sunday, just please let me know, and I will do that for you. So right now, price is reacting off of that daily demand right here. It's a rally, base, rally, daily demand. Some demand right here. This is on DXY, by the way, the dollar index, because it's always good to be looking at the dollar index when you're making your decisions. There's some supply up here. Not a huge fan of this right now. I would just consider this selling. I wouldn't really call this supply. If this ends up breaking this demand that price is reacting off of right now, then I wouldn't mind that supply level. And we got some selling right here as well. I'm sure you'll see a reaction off that when we get there. But yeah, price is kind of just in the sideways market right now, so we'll probably have just some sideways in the dollar index for a while. This is the S&P 500. I guess we'll go over this too. It's clearly on an uptrend. Price is in supply right now. I don't know if it'll hold. I'm thinking it'll probably come up to here and drop. As far as demand, you got some buyers down here and ultimately down there as well. My own personal bias, I think we have a lot more room to fall to the downside with the overall stock market. So I don't trade this. I don't trade the S&P anymore. But I thought I'd just go over it. Aussie US dollar kind of looks just like the stock market. You got supply up here. As for demand, you got a little bit of demand right there. And I don't even like that. And I would maybe just draw it out. Just, it's the lows, right? I'm pretty sure that this is the lows. Yeah. Or it's around there. So we'll mark that out like that, just in case. But we're on an uptrend right here. Probably gonna test this daily supply, I imagine. Aussie Canadian basically looks the same as Aussie US. I just like to have it on my chart. What is this? CAD GPY. I really like that supply up there. As for demand, yeah, that's pretty far back. As for demand, you definitely have some buyers right here, as you can see. Price reacted off that. This is a big zone, but there's nothing. By the way, guys, I don't take a full daily zone. Like, I'm not buying here with my stop loss under here. I'm looking for day trades on 5 minute in here, 1 hour, or sorry, I use a 1 hour inside a daily and look for 5 minute trades in there. So I'm just using this as bigger picture, because a lot of times I use a 4 hour as my curve, but I'm keeping the daily in mind. Like, if the daily's in this demand right here and I find a 4 hour demand zone in here, it just makes it even more powerful, right? And you probably have some sellers in this area as well. I'm not a big fan of these drop-based drop continuation patterns after the trend has been broken. So, but mark it out. I'm sure you'll see some selling in there. Euro US dollar basically looks like the dollar index, so I won't really touch on it too much. Price is reacting right now off of this drop-based drop supply level. And as you can see, like I said in this last one, I'm not a fan of this drop-based drop here because the trend has kind of changed. Oh, sorry. But according to the supply and demand trend methodology, demand was broken. So I guess this is, yeah, I wouldn't really trade that. You can always look. I'll look at a small. I'll mark it on my chart and keep that in mind. If prices, coming up to it like that, I want to know. I want to know that price is in this drop-based drop supply. But ultimately, I like this way better up here, just because it's at the extreme. Oh, sorry. For demand, yeah, it's pretty obvious demand. Price is reacting off of that right now, and this down here isn't too bad either. So that's what I see on Euro USD. Euro GBP price is reacting off of this right now. It's not that bad actually. You also got some demand down here because this was on a downtrend. This demand broke this. I really like this demand. I mean, I don't know. This could rally from here. I don't know, but it's a zone I want to have marked out. The only thing is to consider is you got some supply sitting right there and right there as well, right before the zone. So I would imagine that this is probably going to break. That's just my opinion. We'll see. I definitely don't like this daily supply that's forming right here though, because let's just say you're on taking a trade on a 1 hour, right? Like that's fine, but if you're looking for a big risk to reward, you're going to be hitting this daily supply, and so the profit margin on the daily is just not that great. You know, if you're on a 5 minute or something, or a 1 minute, really not that big of a deal, but it's just something to keep in mind, because now the sellers are really close to these buyers, and these sellers might exhaust these buyers. And you know what, you could probably even just draw that like that. That's probably better like that anyways. So yeah, EURJPY. Prices clearly reacted off this very nice daily demand down here. I really like this daily demand. Broke this momentum line down, took out all that supply right here. I really like that daily demand. And you know, it is tested, but I like to keep those on my charts just in case. Not a huge fan of this supply. I would just more call it selling than supply, but I'll mark it out anyways. And then you got that little zone right there as well. And for that, we'll probably mark that out next week if price manages to get up there. I doubt it. But that's what I see right now on EURJPY. The pound US dollar, really like that supply right there. As for demand, I'll mark that out. Not a huge fan of that demand. That's not bad actually. And you know, we're on an uptrend. Looks like it's trying to break, but we'll see. And you're gonna have some buyers here as well. So that's what I see on the pound US dollar. Pound JPY looks pretty similar. This is an uptrend. It's kind of a hard one to draw, but it's clearly trying to break the upper momentum right now. As for supply, I see that. Not a huge fan, but we'll mark it. As for demand, that I kind of like this demand. This is a downward momentum line. Broke this supply here. It's working on this too. I like that demand. As for this, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of trading in here. I'm sure in the 4 hour, 1 hour, you got some nice curve levels in there, but ultimately I want to be up here. That's where I'd like to be shorting, and this is where I'd like to be buying. But nothing wrong with looking for shorts in here or down here on a smaller time frame. USDCAD. Got some sellers right there. Let's draw it like that. You got some buyers right here. Price is reacting off that demand right now. And yeah, I would call this supply. Reason I'm calling this supply is because it broke this low, broke this demand here. This isn't the best demand, but it did break it. Buyers did step in there. It broke that. Now price is clearly reacting off this supply. So you know, you're kind of in a range right now. What I think is probably going to happen, we'll probably push into here, maybe a little deeper into the zone, and then we'll probably go up to here. Maybe we'll form demand on the way up, bounce up the demand, and go. I don't know. Just an idea I have. Just because I don't think this supply is going to hold. This demand is pretty decent though for a rally-based rally. But you know, we are in a downtrend right now. So that's something to keep in mind. Right now, price is clearly trying to break this momentum line. If this breaks this supply here, I'd probably almost look in here for buys again, even though it's been tested on a smaller time frame. So USD Swiss, got sellers up here. You got some sellers right there. I'm not even gonna mark. That's just something to keep in mind. Don't even really want to mark that out though. You got some buyers that stepped in there. That's not the best either, but price is reacting off of it. Really, price reacted off of that rally demand, and you know you're gonna have some buyers down in there as well. And last one, US Japanese yen. Okay, that was the original supply. That's how I'm gonna keep that supply. If this breaks down here, then I'd probably just extend this down like that. But for now, I'm gonna keep that like that. You have some buyers right here. Price is reacting off of that. And you know, you're probably gonna have some selling right up there as well. I'm not a huge fan of that supply. If this were to break this, then I'd probably look for some shorts up there. But yeah, that's what I see in the US dollar, Japanese yen. That's it for this week. Good luck trading, everybody, this week. If you're listening this far, if you did, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to build a nice community here of supply and demand traders. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if you have any pairs you want me to break down, or even stocks or anything, just let me know and I'll show you what I see on the chart. I don't mind at all. So, all right, guys, take care. See you Wednesday for the supply and demand trading podcast. Have a good one.